Hello my dear resinist friends, today we'll do a test for homemade alcohol inks and let's see the process. For this test we will use Sharpie, oil and resin pigments. Also we will use rubbing alcohol or 70-degree alcohol. I'm going to fill the droppers, half bottle, it's okay. You can use a funnel, not like me. And you already know this trick, Sharpies with alcohol, okay? And it's pretty simple to do this. And now I am going to put the oil in the alcohol, but I know many of you are expert in chemistry, but I'm not. So I had to give it a try to the oil. And I will do also a mixing with resin pigments. Like I said, I'm not an expert in chemistry. I had to see what happened if I mix these components and the reaction with the resin. I am testing the color and I will add more pigments. We have to shake the bottle very well because the pigment is heavy and tends to go down. In this moment, I remembered when I went to school and I said, alcohol, oil, But I'm so stubborn and I continued with the experiment. So it took me a while to mix these two components, but like a lot. This is a big deal for me because as far as I know, it's really difficult to achieve a good white ink or pañata inks, and in Spanish, piñata inks. So in the first bottle I will use acrylic ink. It's not the same that alcohol ink, this is acrylic ink. And the second bottle I will use resin pigments. I use this idea to put better the Sharpie ink. Use a funnel to put the alcohol ink in the bottle. To have a better contrast between the three components, I use the same color to have the same equality of circumstances. So I will prepare my resin and we will start the experiment party. I didn't get rid of the bubbles properly because I was lazy, but please you do it better than me. In my studies of Petri effect, I found that warm the resin is a great start for doing Petri. Okay, I know the way out. Don't forget to shake the droppers whenever you use them. I think I don't have to say that this was the best part of this experiment. In the first row I put the Sharpie with alcohol, in the second one oil with alcohol, and the third one I put resin pigment with alcohol. And for the low row I will use Indian ink or acrylic ink with alcohol, and the top we will use resin pigment with alcohol. Please let me know if you have done something like this before and tell me what was your experiment idea and I will do it. Leave a comment and tell me what you're thinking about this experiment, please. Okay, I have to say that the oil with alcohol is not exactly the best result, but still I put enough and didn't taint the resin. But I think I will put more pigment in the future because I still don't give up with that thing. Okay, before to go to the demolding thing, I want to tell you something. Please subscribe, share or like, do something to help me, and if this was useful, please do something. And of course, thank you for all your support. Most of you know that if the mold is not shiny, the resin pieces are not shiny either. So for those who didn't know this fact, I have to put a dumming in the pieces or polish the pieces. And I want you to note that some pieces are still wet in the background. And this is our first discovery in this experiment. Those pieces were done with acrylic ink and alcohol. I used this brush earlier to clean a surface, and that was a huge mistake. I will finish to put a really thin layer of resin in these pieces, and we will do the ink review. You already can see what is working and what is not, right? But still, leave a comment with what was your favorite one. Let's start with the review. This first one was alcohol with Sharpie for the violet, and the white ink was alcohol with white acrylic ink. I love that orange halo, right? And this is still a little bit wet in the background. In this piece, I love the color fading and that sunset effect. This second one was made with alcohol with oil. The oil fade completely. In fact, disappeared completely. And the white was alcohol with white acrylic ink. So this is pretty simple, it's not so much effect on this one. This piece was a surprise because I didn't expect so much from white with white acrylic ink, but the effect is kinda cool. This effect looks like a tiny little hair in all of the background, so I love that effect. I will use these inks for doing a galaxy piece or a universe piece. I don't know. What do you think? Is it cool or is it not? I'm sorry, there is a lot of bubbles on that one. And for this piece I use alcohol with violet resin pigment, and the white is alcohol with white resin pigment also. And I think we kinda achieved Petri effect. So I'm happy because the white was a success, I think. I love the way the color remain in this piece because the Sharpie will change color, but the resin pigment will remain the color. That is a fact. So take note, girls, please. The back of the piece is totally dry. So this is the piece with violet oil and alcohol with white resin pigment. We achieve again the Petri effect, and as we already know, the oil will disappear, and maybe it gives another effect with the Petri thing. Maybe the alcohol was something different, but I don't know. I have to try again. I think that oil made a different opening cells inside. What do you think? And this is our last piece. It's made with alcohol with Sharpie and alcohol with white resin pigment. Okay, this is the closest thing to a Petri effect, and the color change really cool. I think lights doesn't let you appreciate this well, but I think it's a really cool effect. Well, my dear friends, this was the video for today, and I hope you have a really clear idea on how to do your own homemade inks. Please, if this was helpful, leave a comment or a like, and I will appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.